Hey,
Yo.
happy KOTG Tuesday.
What's up,
What's
ladies
up,
and gentlemen?
everybody?
What's up, guys?
Hey, everybody.
It's Tuesday.
It's a John Deere Tuesday. That's what it is.
John Deere.
John Deere Bush Light Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen.
So is that a limited edition for this year, Nate? Or what?
So last year, the year before, they came out with, every summer they do this for the farmers thing. And last year, they came out with like a corn can. It looks like an ear of corn. And then this year, it looks like they just teamed up with John Deere and did it that way. But like every case that's sold, there's $1 that gets donated. And I know that like Bush Light and John Deere are going to match and like donate a whole bunch
that's
of money.
cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll have to look for one of those.
So go buy a case of Bush Light with the John Deere and you can contribute to the farmers. So
Saw the apple bush just came out too. I know you don't like that much.
You know, when they first came out with it, they said it was just going to be a one-time thing. But then a lot of people like it. And so then they came back with it. Now it sounds like it's going to be like an every year kind of a seasonal thing. But to me, it's more of a fall beer. But that's just me.
Yeah, kind of like apple cider.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's cool. I mean, anytime you can change things up and just have a little fun with it or donate to a cause, it's always good. I did see on Twitter, though, where I can't remember what it said. There was like a combination. Someone said something about like the greatest duo ever or something like that. And John Deere said, "Hey, Bush Light, let's roll," or something like that. Or John Deere's like, "Hey, hold my beer," or something, like that. It was pretty cool. But
that's cool.
Hey, well, speaking of duos, real quick, I just want to.
Heyo. That's pretty awesome.
Just show off our beautiful faces for a second there. Shout out to Simple Lawn Solutions for making that for us. Anyways, we got a
They
good
did a
show
pretty good
tonight,
job,
guys.
man.
Yeah, they did. And we all made sure we didn't coordinate tonight for that reason. We didn't want to look like a bunch of twinning dummies or something. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like we picked the right topic tonight. Sounds like a lot of people are talking about seed head and stripes and stuff. So we're excited for that. We got our guest that won last week, Ryan Quick, the Highlander Lawn. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. You're
Hey, welcome,
a
Ryan.
two-time guest winner, so that's awesome.
Becoming a regular.
Welcome back
2-0.
to the show.
I know we've had a couple people who've won. They won the wheel once and they won it again. I think
Yeah.
actually last time you were on, we had a winner. We had who was on with you. We spun
God.
twice because whoever won first won it before, so we spun again and then you won. I think we had two people on when you came on the first time.
Oh,
Yeah, it was probably a drunk long guy or something. He
Actually,
wins a bunch of stuff too.
but
But
yeah,
we
that was
just
a
said,
good one. I
yeah,
remember
drunk
we were-
long guy. You can come on whenever, and then we were spun again for somebody else. So
You're talking about like winterizing or something.
yeah.
Pretty good.
Well, so Ryan, real quick for those people in the chat that may have missed your last show that you were on, why don't you give everybody a little introduction of who you are and where you're from and grass type and lawnmower and all that good information.
well, I was born and raised in Pocatello, Idaho, which is where I'm from. Part of the reason why I came up with the Highlander lawn, because I went to Highland High School. That's part of what it is. And then my wife and I went on a trip to Scotland, and it was so green out there that I'm
Perfect.
like, I love, because it's just naturally green. Everywhere we went was just green, green, green. And I'm like, I like it. Plus, my last name's Quick, and the movie, The Highlander, they call it The Quickening. I've never ever implemented that in my YouTube channel, but I might get copyright struck or something on that. But I live in Utah. I've been here for going on 13 years. I've got Kentucky bluegrass in my yard, and I've got a Toro Super Recycler right now. I'm working on restoring an old school reel mower that's like from the 1950s to get that up and running, but it's been hard finding parts. So
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of old reel mowers, I know Evie's in the chat, and I think I just saw he was restoring an old reel mower.
Was
an
that
old
who
19
somebody posted a story or something about an old red one. Is that the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
Toro?
yep. I
Is
think
it
so.
a Toro?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I thought that was pretty
I
sweet.
saw one on my feed, and man, that is really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Old,
Ryan, are you
gas-powered.
planning to restore it and actually use it as like your daily lawnmower, or you just want to get it restored and running and just kind of as a novelty piece?
oh God, it's kind of a bunch of all of it. When I first started mowing a yard for my grandpa who had MS, he was a fireman that was retired and he couldn't mow his yard. And so I started mowing yard at 7 years old, and he had a mower just like that. It was he had an old Craftsman, but I could only find like one that's called a Cooper Clipper. I'd never heard of one before, but it was that same style where the clippings come back at you, and in the catcher, they don't go forward like some of the new reel mowers now, but
Yeah.
I loved it. I love the cut that a reel mower gives. But finding that old school stuff is hard. But I've got two of them, and I'm going to take the parts from both of them and get them restored and tear it apart,
Sweet.
paint it and all that. But I have used one of the two in some of my restorations that I've done when I help people. Is I use it to scalp it down because I've got it set at 1/2 inch. And so when I go and scalp, man, it scalps like nobody else's business. And so it does really well there. So when I get done with that, I think I'll use it.
Oh, he's got that crazy Utah internet.
Let's say, is that me?
No, it's
No.
us.
I do that a lot
Oh.
too. So I wasn't sure.
So
Did I
real
blip
quick,
out?
yeah,
Okay.
you just kind of froze out for a second, but real quick, now that introductions are over with, I forgot. Let's all grab a glass. I saw drunk lawn guy was getting thirsty in the chat. So grab a glass and keep off the grass. And Zach said he's dry tonight.
I'm like 3 deep already, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I figured somebody would help him catch up a little bit.
I'm glad
So,
Zach
Olee?
joined us.
What's up,
Hey.
fellas?
Hey, there's Olee.
Did y'all think I got voted off or something?
Man, all this talk,
Him and his 3 friends.
yeah.
We knew there was suggestions of that, but we vetoed that.
Yeah, right. All
Say
right,
the
so
the 3 of them got together. I think it was what, me, myself, and I.
yeah,
Keep off the grass.
There we go. For life.
all right.
KOTG for life.
So seed head guys, you want to talk about seed heads first?
Well, this
Let's do it, man. That seemed to come overnight.
Yeah, it sounds like you
That's
guys
nuts.
because here in Utah, I mean,
No,
the
not
grass
nuts.
just barely
Head.
started growing. So, what about you guys? Midwest, Nate, you said you see a lot in your neighborhood already.
Yeah, like literally, as you said, like overnight, like I cut, lawn was looking fabulous, color was fabulous, and then like I think a lot of you guys notice it, but like when your lawn starts to get the seed heads, you get almost like a white haze over the top of the lawn.
Mhm.
And I looked out and I'm just like, damn, like that doesn't look as like crisp. It doesn't look as like fire. And and as I'm walking the lawn, I'm like, and I noticed a lot in my boulevard. That's where I noticed it like first and a lot. And and I was just like, okay. And then as I started cutting, I noticed like the next day after day, it was just starting to pop up everywhere. So it seems early, but I don't know. It's definitely
It is
heading.
close to end of May.
Yeah, they
I
say
think
mid-May
it's just kind of flying by then.
Well, I think for me, like I got like a late start. I mean, I'm like a month behind compared to last year, which I think last year was a little bit early. So it's a combination of last year being early, this year feeling like I'm late. So then literally, like less than a month after my first mow, I'm already in seed head. And I'm just like, it just seemed like it was really quick. But like I said, I noticed it on my neighbor's lawn. And then I noticed on mine, it was just like, huh, I'm seeing it like my neighbors on both sides. I've seen it. So it's definitely there.
So Nate, when you and I talk, it seems like we have similar weather. So did you have a week of like, 90s, almost up to 100, pretty much
Yeah.
straight? Yeah. We had that in Missouri too.
Like
And
2
I
weeks
think
ago.
that contributed to them all kind of popping up between my last cut and here now. So last weekend is when I noticed it. And that's kind of when we were all talking about it. And hey, we should do that for Tuesday for the show. So we were planning on stripes. Like, what else could we talk about? That seemed to be now this place. I did an overseed, basically a full rehaul, but it's my first year here, and I feel like I have a whole bunch more than I did at my old place. And I don't know if that's because maybe it was already in the soil, but you guys actually taught me something. So what I thought was like, oh, it's just my grass going to seed. I think it's actually POA, and I have a ton of it in the yard. So, I don't know, would that, if it's not your actual grass going to seed, if it's like POA or some kind of a weed type grass, are those seed heads going to be mature enough to actually produce more next year? Like, do I just wait for it to die off in the summer and then
What makes you think
on
it's
my plan
POA?
going forward? So the shape of it, right? I'm not familiar, but Olee and Zach, you guys pointed out right away, like that's not fescue. That's not even bluegrass. That's POA. And I Googled it and I was like, you know what? You're right. I just learned something today. What I thought was my grass going to seed is not. So,
Zach, you got pictures.
You know the
Zach?
terrible
Yeah,
thing
I'm
about
trying.
it?
I'm slacking here.
it's okay.
But yeah, they're I mean, honestly, like it's kind of hard to tell the difference and I've had a couple people already this year send me pictures and kind of say, hey, what's going on with my lawn? And if you look at a picture of, let's just say like 2 to 3 square foot section, a lot of times you can almost find both. I mean,
I did find some fescue after Olee showed us those pictures. I found some out there too, and they were, definitely
Well,
different looking for sure.
To give you
Yeah.
credit, Bill, this is your first spring with this lawn, right? Because you just did the whole reno, and so it's not like you are used to your lawn and know what it looks like yet.
Yeah,
so.
no, and I'm colorblind too. So it looks there are some yellow blades, and I was wondering could that be the POA, or is that just anyway? I'm still learning,
once you
guys.
see
I'm no
POA,
pro.
I feel like POA is really easy to spot once you see it and know it's way different than another type of grass seed head.
Yeah.
Looking at that picture, that's exactly how I know it, and I can see the difference.
Sure. Yeah.
And the one on the left is Kentucky bluegrass seed heads, but rye looks very similar. At least to me, it does. It's not like distinctive like that, but I don't think there's really sense in debating on what grass type it is. But if you have POA or regular grass seed heads, I think it's really easy to distinguish just based on the look. And POA seed heads, they can grow like 1/8 of an inch above the soil. So we can talk about cutting off the grass seed heads, but POA, you can mow it, but if you're not mowing 1/8 of an inch high, you're not going to cut them off. They're going to just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
does rye or Kentucky bluegrass grow that low too?
No,
it's just POA.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I remember last year. Mine hasn't been growing enough yet to start seeding, but I just remember that hazy look and just really, really disliked it. And, in the summertime, you want to go a little bit higher. I go like 2.5 inches in the springtime and fall, but then I go up to three inches or a little bit higher in the summer. And that's just more when I start seeing the seed heads start sprouting out a little bit more.
So Brian, you're not seeing the seeds heads when you're about an hour south of me.
Yeah.
My yard is just full of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it is full of it this year.
Well, we were,
and it's
I think we were probably a little drier because when I was driving up around that area a couple of weeks back, it seemed like it was a lot more greener than out where I live. So, and I think Drunk Lawn Guy said he had a few in his front lawn. I don't know. I don't see it yet, but I'm sure it's coming soon.
It's coming.
Brian, but you just got your first mow, Brian, right?
Yeah. I just, and it was a little bit long, right? I probably should have mowed it a few weeks back, but yeah, I just did the first.
And I don't know the answer to this, and you guys may know, but does that have anything to do with it? After, does it take, 4 or 5 mows of growing before it gets to that phase where it starts to do the seeding process? My guess is that if that's your first mow, you haven't had enough growth for the process to kind of take place.
Yeah.
Well, I just barely had my water turn on yesterday, so I haven't had much water on it. So that may be another reason why it's pushing seed.
Ryan, how many times have you mowed?
Me? 3.
Okay.
I mowed 3 times.
You're still pretty early too.
Yeah. Well, you guys,
and I don't know
if you have any water to push
how,
growth. It's kind of hard to want to mow it because it.
Yeah. And Bill, you asked me about the 90s, before that was 2 weeks ago, we had a straight week in 90s, but before that it was 70s, perfect temp. And we had a ton of rain though.
Oh, a ton of rain. Yeah.
It was just it was rain, nice day,
Yeah.
rain, nice day, rain. And it was just constant. So, and the temps were cool. So the grass was just growing. Literally, I remember I think I talked about this.
Was intense.
I think I talked about this last week or the week before. I literally cut in the morning and I was messing around or whatever. And I took the mower back out in the evening. And I swear, I was still cutting off 1/4 of an inch. It was growing like crazy.
Wow.
And it reminded me of I was watching that Ryan Knorr video of when he was at the John Deere Classic. And they were talking about how they were out mowing the greens 4 to 5 times a day.
Oh, wow.
So the morning, the players who went out first in the morning, and then the players who were went out later in the afternoon and had the last, tee times, they were essentially putting on the same surface because they were saying that the grass would actually grow throughout the day. So they would cut it the tee boxes and the greens, they would cut it several times throughout the day to keep that exact same feel for every player. It was a pretty cool video watching when he did that documentary.
You could almost hear it growing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, prepping up to a televised event. I'm sure, it's just like we do prepping up for Halloween domination or, you got some, you got your buddies coming over for Memorial Day weekend or July 4th, I guarantee every one of us is throwing something on the lawn that week to green it up or push a little bit of growth or something, so they're doing stuff like that. So yeah, you would imagine that when it gets to that week of the golf tournament, it's got to be just growing like crazy. I would think, but
So does anybody really know like why it goes to seed? As people talk about, well, I don't let my grass grow that high. Is that really what causes it, or is it the season? Is it the weather? Is it put what you put down on there? You know what I mean? Like
anything that I've read on it, it's like
it's
mid-May
natural.
Yeah. Well, Olee,
Its natural instinct is to reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
And that's its natural instinct. And not talking about POA, but like high giggle box down there, like high quality turf.
My natural instincts to reproduce too. So I understand. I get it.
I think we all have that instinct.
To at least practice.
Hey,
But not to
makes
exceed.
perfect.
yeah, that's true. I like
Just
practice.
Yeah, Nate
Practice makes perfect. But anyway, its natural instinct is to reproduce. And what I have learned looking at different cultivars in fescue is your higher quality cultivars, such as Mountain View, doesn't reproduce as heavily. So a cultivar that doesn't reproduce as heavily, or is what they call a high yield plant, that's why it costs more money, because you got more of a lush leaf, not stalks. And then your cheaper cultivars produce heavily, and that's why they're cheaper, because they're easier to put in a bag and sell to somebody. So I personally see a major difference here in two different seeds in two different areas. And I've been trying to learn everything I can about the seed head production, because I don't like the stalks.
Yeah.
The stalks tear at my little girl's feet. I mean, they're strong. They're like coffee straws.
Yeah.
And you can't walk barefoot in it for a couple of weeks because it's
Stole the
sharp.
shit out of your mower blades.
Yep, that too. But I've been trying to learn like at what maturity does it start producing stalks? Does the plant have to be mature? Because I've got some cultivars from Mountain View that I know are 8 months old because they were seeded from bare ground in roughly October. I can't find any seed stalks over there, and I don't know if it's a maturity thing or what. Like I've been trying to dig, and that's basically what I want to learn is more about that. Because if there's something I can do, like a plant growth regulator next year or whatever it is to hold back seed head production, that's what I want to do.
One of the things I read was you want to give it was saying that if it's deficient in nitrogen and it gets dry with that heat is when it decides, or that somehow triggers it to start, putting its energy towards producing seed instead of vegetation. So if you are watering it and giving it some fertilizer, some nitrogen, maybe specifically, that might maybe reduce it. But that was just me researching like what is this and how do you minimize it? I don't know if anybody else can speak to that, like ways you can minimize seed head production, if at all possible.
I did read from Michigan State that they recommend, based on when your first application of fertilizer was, or if you haven't applied any yet, to apply some nitrogen when you first see the seed stalks, and that's supposed to help it recover at least.
Because it burns itself up trying to produce that stuff. Yeah. So it's like, sucking the energy out of it.
So would you say that, let's say you're like, I guess speaking on mine, like I noticed like my color was phenomenal. It was looking green as can be.
It was looking good. It was looking good.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like within a week, I feel like my colors kind of went to shit. Not just shit. It's decreased. I will say that. And I feel like, the way you guys are talking with the energy change, that kind of makes sense that, now it's doing that versus having, the growth of the blade and all that.
So what you're saying is that the grass got horny and it went to seed.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Basically.
We're being a cock block.
We're trying to.
A blade blocker.
Settle down, you grass
But
blade.
speaking of that, so my blades, I just sharpened. I have brand new blades, 3 blades. Nice. One rotates different, heavy duty machine, and I'm still having a hard time getting a clean cut. I was. It's kind of coming out. I'm kind of coming
I
out.
probably
of it now,
due to
but
sharpen my blades. Yeah, I mean,
It's
I think I'm shredding it. On top
even
of
like
them.
I'll even drive slow just to hopefully get some good suction and get a good cut. And it's still I was getting some tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What height are you cutting it at?
All these words, man. All these words.
We haven't even got the stripes yet.
Yep.
Talk about the
He
deck.
set
Deck
them
to
up
deck.
and we knock them down.
Deck to deck.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
But
What height
I
of
can't
cut?
remember what
are
I
you
was
at?
saying.
I did cut.
Oh, how
What's
to
your-
cut? Yeah, I'm in like 3.5, 3.75.
Do you ever go lower than that? Because I would assume the suction would be better if you went down lower.
Till it tickles,
Come on,
I
come on.
find that is
true. It's a fact.
till it tickles your nose.
It's been
lower.
researched by college professors everywhere.
So like, it's weird. I can like my big deck drops too low if I drop it the next level, and it almost goes too deep,
To your knees.
and
Okay,
I
Zach.
can't. It changes. I seriously, I don't have like an in between. It's like 3.75 to 3. That's how like I can probably tweak that a little bit. I'm still kind of messing with it,
It's like go big or go home, right?
but that's kind of so I normally keep it there. Like I do get enough suction to cut the
Yeah.
seed heads off, but it's still maybe you're right though. Maybe if I did go a little lower, it would give it a cleaner cut.
So is
I
it?
don't
Yeah,
know.
I was going to ask, like, when you start seeing the seed heads, is it recommended, or should you like drop it a notch and try and get those cut out of there, or does it make any difference?
I felt like I did that last year, because again, I was high up, but then as I didn't like the look of it, and so I wanted to go lower. But again, like what you're saying, like Ole's saying, it's the stalks are still there, and you're just walking on the grass, and it's hurts to walk barefoot out on it. So that's what I was curious about. Is there something like once you start seeing it, if you threw a bunch of nitrogen down, would it help grow and push it to produce faster, you know what I mean, and be gone sooner? Or are you just stuck with it because it's the season?
I think the only thing that you can do is going to be to hold it back with a plant growth regulator to keep it from trying to do that.
But would it still
And the
want
thing-
to after that?
Well, after that, I mean, it only does it for so long, and then it's out of
Okay.
that stage.
I
So
see what you're
it's-
saying.
It's took a cold shower and things have
Right,
chilled
right.
out, and it's ready to grow again.
So your plant growth regulators the cold shower, and then by the time it wears off, the season's over, and it shouldn't have a chance to do that.
Well, the spring flush and the
Yeah.
and the seed head production.
Well, I guess
time.
my question is, and like I said, I didn't do any research for the show, so I apologize. But is it? I'm so busy
I
guy.
didn't do
Sorry.
any research.
But my question is it just like a timing thing of like, Zach, you were hitting on it, but like, okay, if I throw nitrogen down for my first app and my first cut, 6 weeks later, no matter what I do or anything, is that when it's going to happen? Or is it a temperature thing? Or I guess I'd like to know, like, anyone in the chat, if you guys know that or more information about it, I'd like to know more if it's, so I guess, can I prepare for it? Is there signs to look for? Is there something to combat it? Or is it just one of those things where, like, you know what, roughly around, middle of May, it's going to happen no matter what I do, whether I start mowing in March, I start mowing in April, I throw fertilizer down, yes or no? Is it just going to happen no matter what?
A couple articles.
Well, I mean, even here in Texas, like I told my mother-in-law, she was getting seed heads all over her lawn last year, and she didn't believe me. I said, seed heads pop up when they're stressed, whether it be too much water, not enough water, too hot, whatever. And I'm talking about Bermuda, and obviously, just like everyone else, I've had seed heads all over the place, popping up, especially the front yard. Not as much in the backyard, but yeah, I mean, we've had, like, you guys had stated, we've had temps up in the 90s and 100s, and we've had, lots and lots of rain. I think like 6 to 8 inches in the last, week or two. So that's
send
that's
some of
when
that
I
back
know.
west. You send some of that water back west that we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jamming up.
Nate, to kind of answer your question, if it's 75 to 80 degrees one whole week and then jumps up to 100 degrees, you might see some seed heads. And if it's barely raining here this week, and then next week you get 6 or 7, 8 inches, you might see some seed heads.
Yeah. And maybe that's why I haven't seen you. I haven't been home for a few days, but we were like in the 50s last week, and all of a sudden we jump up into the 80s.
Yeah.
That could be stressing out some of the lawns around in Utah as well so quickly.
Yeah, I think that's when I really noticed it, is when the temperatures jumped.
Yeah.
The sad part is the seed heads that we see and want will not reproduce. They're sterile,
Right.
That's the sad part is, and you get the ugly little poa plants, and they're there for no time, and they produce so much that say what now?
I was gonna say, I wish I had video of me my first year on my lawn and had all this. I had tons of seed head in the yard, and I went out there with my leveling rake, and I tried to get them all off there, scoop them all in there, and just hopefully they fall into the grass. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have more Bermuda. Hell yeah, I'm gonna just water. No, that is not the case. Shooting blanks, fellas.
Yeah, like I don't know. It almost feels like you're doing something wrong when it happens. You know what I mean? Because it's like all of a sudden they just pop up, and you're like, damn, like what did I do wrong? Like, did I not water enough? Did I not? Do I need to put something on the lawn or whatever? But I get this feeling all the time when I see it. It's just like, damn,
I think Ole's onto something about the cultivars, and even the 2 grass seed companies we've had on, they've talked about that. And, the ones that, are typically more expensive and more elite are the ones that they have a hard time reproducing. So you get those good cultivars. Not saying if your grass is going to seed heads, that's bad cultivars necessarily. I'm not saying that, but I think that's part of it.
Well, I completely agree with that. And here's why. So last fall, I got some grub damage, and I basically pulled up, I don't know, a good section, and I basically kind of leveled it out, and I just put, reseeded it with 365 and some perennial ryegrass, and that is 0. That whole section has 0 seed heads, and it's a completely different looking section because it's the quality of it. It's essentially a pure 365, where everything else is like overseeded with 365.
Unless
not a single seed head.
Unless that's got to do with maturity too, because
that's what I was wondering.
That's the question I've been digging. I hadn't got an answer yet, but because some of my turf is only 8 months old. Yeah. And to me, and I tell everybody that I meet this with fescue, if you can keep fescue alive for a full season without brown patch, drought, too much rain, and root rot, without some type of problem, if you can keep fescue alive for 1 year, it's a whole lot stronger. The roots are more established. But I don't know if that maturity has anything to do with seed head production or stalks. And that's something I want to know. Now, I'll be able to tell you this come next year this time, because, my Mountain View section, that's 100% Mountain View, will have some maturity. Then I'll be able to answer that question, But you can pull, if you want, you can pull that picture up, Zach. That's not a Mountain View cultivar, and it has got seed. It's got stalks like nobody's business. And what makes it so ugly is, normally your grass is this, growing up, and you're cutting it off. But once it produces a seed stalk, the blades come off this way, and then they lay on top, and they reflect sun up. Mm-hmm. So then they look all shiny and, like you're saying, that white haze. Not to mention you're seeing the top of where you cut the stalk off.
Sure.
But you can see a lot of those blades are laying level with the ground. And those are some major stalks. I mean, you step on that.
Looks like bamboo.
Stalks, yeah, dude, those are some fat stalks.
So like I say, what I've learned is your cheaper cultivars that are higher producers, have a higher yield of seed, are easier to grow, easier to sell. And that's what they do. That's what they do.
there's got to be a balance, right? Because the desirable quality is not producing as many of those, but that's what's necessary to produce more seed. So you want one that makes less of those, and then you got to wait that time for them to mature before you can cut it. Like we're cutting it long before those seed heads are mature enough to actually be, they're all sterile, right? They're not mature yet.
Yes.
But they have to grow that to sell you the seed. So that makes it difficult to grow and produce more seed. So it makes it more expensive. Yeah. But yeah. So
And I think for it to be
cheaper stuff's going to go stocks more.
Like one year I thought I would just let my yard grow out and let the seed fall, and I wouldn't buy grass seed, and I'd save so much money. But I believe it would have to be about 3 foot tall for that to
you'd
work
have a
out.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would definitely have the neighbors talking.
So like
You
in
could
the
probably do
after
some crop circles, but not stripes.
after the seeds were done, like that seed transition, what I dealt with last year was I had a lot of brown stalks. So it almost looked like I was dry or something, or had like some type of problem, but I had a lot of brown stalks mixed in throughout my grass, and it took a couple weeks for those to go away.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to avoid that this year. I don't really have a strategy other than maybe to mow a little more. I know I got behind a couple times last year. So
Like
I
if you
think
cut it
that's where-
short, so those stay short, but then you let it kind of grow tall again as the grass blades get a little taller. Maybe it'll cover them up more.
yeah.
I think that's a time whenever you spray molasses and let the microbes chew that up and get it going.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Feed the soil.
Zach, I put that picture in our chat on Instagram of like that one section of cultivars.
Yeah.
If you see it, if you want to pull it up, if not, no big deal.
Yeah, I will. Wait, this video? Oh, it's a picture. Oh
Definitely
yeah,
no-
shit.
no-
dude, that's
no-
crazy.
No videos I send you need to be put on.
Yeah. Keep those in the private chat.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
like some
get
of the
banned
pictures
on
you sent though.
YouTube.
Ooh, baby.
We should talk about lawn of the week before too long too.
Yeah, well, and then we also got to get to our other subjects. So
If we don't, we
Oh,
can
geez.
change.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's true.
I
We
didn't
can
think
always-
we could talk about heads this long.
yeah,
It's a lot. Yeah.
well, let's.
Yes.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. So okay. So if you can see that picture, obviously you can see the circle there. That's the spot that I basically completely ripped up down to bare dirt, which was full grub damage,
Mm.
and reseeded. So that's pure 365 bluegrass and then rye Grand Slam, both from Mountain View.
Yeah, it looks
You can
fine.
see
How
how
many days
you
is
can
that
s-
post germination?
So this was seeded in the fall, probably mid-September.
Okay.
So yeah, less than a year. But then, like I said, you look at the background and you can see, the color is definitely. I mean, it's so noticeable. This is so much darker than everything else. And like I said,
Stripe looks a little crooked.
Burn.
Just
Them
play.
were
Is that
fighting
is that
words.
them new curvy stripes?
See, and that's what I'm concerned about is when I haven't overseeded yet. My lawn's doing okay, but when I do overseed, like, with my dog spots, I've been concerned about throwing a seed down because I don't want it to be a different color. Like, I feel like I would have to oversee the entire yard so that I didn't have a darker or a lighter color compared to the rest of it. You know what I mean?
I wonder if that first year after overseeding, if you're doing it in the fall, it kind of has a different look. And then the following year, it kind of matures maybe. Because I remember the lawn looked a lot different when I first did my overseed, and some of those bare spots, it didn't really match. But then another year of overseeding where you did the whole yard, it blended eventually.
Yeah.
So it may just be a temporary thing where next year it'll look better, it'll match better, and something like that.
Well, one thing, young turf, like newly seeded turf, is always darker than mature turf. Like, I don't know if you remember some of the outlines that I had where different sections were from bare dirt and they were like super, super dark.
Mhm.
That is less noticeable today as it's getting some age on it.
So does it just more or less blend in then to surroundings, or?
I don't.
I'm
Well, I
curious
guess
why
what
the
I'm
color
saying is when
changes.
it's young, I know when it's young, it's dark for some
darker.
reason. I don't
Okay.
know if it's because the leaf blade is so small and
Yeah.
it, you know, but
Talking-
once
you're
it
talking
matures,
fescue?
Maybe the chlorophyll's
Yeah.
higher.
Yeah,
well, that's
'cause
what I mean. Like the
you're-
leaf blade being smaller, I guess it traps more of the color and
Mhm.
you know
Sure.
some of
Makes
them big
sense.
words that I can't say that like PGR does too. You know, it holds
Yeah.
the plant down to where the color looks better and stuff.
Yeah. It pushes energy elsewhere into color and fullness, thickness instead of stalks or height. I want to try that one of these seasons. I think that'd be fun to see what that does. That spring flush is so intense. Like Nate was saying, you have to be out there. I've been mowing twice a week. I have the little manual reel mower, which is easy after work during the week, but yeah, so much. I'd have to bag it. I couldn't mulch if I just did once a week. It'd just be too much.
Yeah, I mulch 99% of the time, and like this week I've been like just side discharging, and what I do is instead of like putting the chute on, I literally just take a bungee cord and like flip that little side thing up and just let
That's
it, just like lets it go everywhere. Because it's not as like, you don't have that freaking like just spit
Line.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a whole
Yep.
shitting out like grass in a line. So this way, like, especially like on a windy day, which then, it just kind of disperses like really nicely actually, and you never even realize it. So,
Yeah.
See, I need to give me a time
Looks
master.
better.
That's what I need,
but yeah, that's what I usually, and plus I learned that trick from doing my hill because that chute that I would hook up to do it. Well, I couldn't mulch my hill because it's usually up to my knees before I mow it. And then when I put the chute on with all those damn trees I got up there, I'd have to go around them and it'd knock it off every time. So I'm like,
Yep.
so then I figure up the bungee cord just to pry it open. I'm like, shit, that actually works pretty good. So
At least it's not below your knee.
hey,
See a lot of commercial guys doing that too, where they just pull it up, pull the chute up.
So what you got here,
spits it
Olee?
out.
You can see like that where that rock was covered up out the road. That was 100% bare and went back with the Barenbrug, the RTF. And you see how
Yes.
dark that corner
Yeah.
is. It's like
It's
crazy
dark.
dark. And then if you look over there to the Winfield Pro section is all Mountain View cultivars. And that's where all the army worms had eat that to nothing. But you can see how dark it is right inside of that line I got drawed. And you can see around that tree where them army worms went straight to that tree and went eat around in a circle.
Mhm.
But that young turf is so much darker than everything that was mature. But I could take a picture, which I might have a picture from like right now, and you can't see that anymore. In other words, it's all chilled out, blended in.
When was this?
It's not-
Was this before the winter?
That was January the 9th.
Okay.
January and you got fucking green grass. That's
I
nuts.
know, right? It was still
I was-
mowing. God
I
damn.
was doing some experimenting with molasses, and I think I'm on to something.
Sweet.
Is
Yeah,
that
let's get the
molasses
lawn of the
for-
week.
That molasses prevents the
Lot of
snow
the
from
week.
coming.
Melts it.
It slows it down.
All
Tell you
right,
what.
guys. So KOTG Lawn of the Week. We do this cool little thing each week where we go out and look on Instagram for you guys with the best lawns. And the way to be entered in for it is you have to use the hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week. So put that in a post or a story so we can find you on Instagram. Make sure your account is not private either, because some of us we can't find the account if we're not following you. So that's why some
don't
people
be a
have gone
weirdo.
out. Yeah, some people have gone and created a separate account. You can do that. Join that lawn community because your family's tired of seeing your lawn all the time. But so this week, and then of course, once you hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week and we follow it and pick you, the winner gets their choice of Pro P NPK that you can find on the Home Depot website. So again, we want to continue to thank Pro Pete for affiliating with us for over a year now, giving out a lot of
Love it.
Pro Pete fertilizer to all these winners. So thank you, John, and the rest of the Pro Pete team. So this week we found a fire lawn. This is a first-time winner, and we are going.
Well, hey, I might add real quick.
What?
This guy is a true warrior of his lawn.
Yes, this is the definition of a warrior in a lawn, and this would be Weekend Warrior Lawn. A Brad Fisher.
Hey.
He's long overdue. He's had a really nice lawn for a while, and this is just amazing.
Even with that playset, what the?
It just looks like such a pleasant yard to hang out in, right? The kids have their space. You're kind of boxed in by the trees. I mean,
I love those trees.
give me a barbecue, bring out Amazon Music, Alexa, just chill, play some tunes, hang out.
Get a hot tub. Dang, get the wife out there. Ooh.
That's nice.
Cooler full of beer.
Yep.
Here's the first thing I
There'll be
noticed.
lots of reproducing them.
Just
Lot-
looks clean. It looks
lot
clean
of
all
seed
over.
head. But the first thing I noticed is that play set looks brand new. So he's got at least 10 years of mowing around that thing and trimming around that thing.
It does look fresh.
There's not even dead spots at the base of the ladder.
Jumping down.
Yeah.
Spoken like a playset veteran. Yeah.
Oh,
knows
mine's
the
about ready to come
pitfalls.
out. This is the
Are
last
the
year.
kids old enough yet to take it out? Yeah.
This is the last
Jeez.
year though. Last year. Next. So hopefully this fall it's gonna come out in this fall and be able to kind of redo that area, get it back into shape.
I know he's got some he thought he had some German grass or something. I remember he was a guest on when we first started doing the guest. He was one of the first winners, and he was saying he had some German grass. If I remember right.
Yeah, it was really, really different than everything else.
It looks good though. Those are straight lasers too.
Mhm.
Where's he live?
I don't recall. Let me see if I can.
I just had it.
German grass?
I don't think they get as hot as we do because I've had some guys ask.
Connecticut?
Yeah. It almost seems like he's got that playset on a crane and just lifts it up and
I think the same thing. I'm like, that stripe looks right. It goes right underneath that ladder.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I'm sure that ladder picks up, does it not?
It might.
Right. But the fact that he sits and takes it off, to mow, that's some
Those stripes look like they go right underneath that playset.
Oh man, that's photoshopped.
Hey,
I was to say, I'm so half-assing mine. I'm
If
so
he
lazy.
stripes, if he stripes
he's got it.
inside
He's got
that
it figured
square,
out.
inside
He's got
that
it figured
square,
out.
if he stripes in there, then he's got it down.
What's the
Pick up the mower, go over, stripe in the middle of it.
No,
Or
you
like
just
Brian
cut.
says, he's got a crane.
Hit it with a broom. Just hit it with a
Yeah,
broom.
you just take the broom after it. There you go.
Yeah,
Just broom it.
that's the new
Like a magician.
playset filter. That's the playset
Yeah.
filter you put on your lawn. That's not even a real playset. It just
It's a filter.
It's a PNG from Amazon. You just plop that on there.
yeah. Try before you buy it, kind of thing.
It's a virtual world. How does it look in your living room? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, but no, congrats, Brad. That's a pretty awesome lawn. It's well deserved. You've been at it for a while. We've definitely been noticing, keeping an eye on you. So,
Welcome to
like
the
we said,
family.
your time will come. Just got to be patient and keep tagging us, and we'll get you.
He's in the chat, so Connecticut,
Yeah.
right?
There you
Yep.
go.
Southern Connecticut.
That's gorgeous up there.
I imagine
what-
they stay green quite a while. They have the evergreens there in the background.
Yeah.
Did he say what
And
grass
that-
it was in the chat?
Oh man. See
I
how
remember.
that's blended in,
Yeah.
and the
Looks
spot
good.
that
Straight
spot where I
stripes.
just covered that rock. That's Barenbrug. So easy to germinate.
That's the RTF, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. If you can't get that to
Yeah.
germinate,
That's really good.
It looks good, man.
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Don't zoom in too much. You'll see all my POA. I do have some POA. If you around my blueberries right there is some POA. Anywhere you got bare ground, if you don't have something down, you're going to have POA. Because it, if it's bare and the sunlight can hit it, it's gonna germinate.
Olee,
Did you put down anything to help?
No,
ward
sir.
that off? No,
I did not. No, because I haven't done any pre-emergent the last couple of years. If I ever get everything 100% finished, like all my beds the way I want them, that big spot right here between the pool and like the big natural area, that's all going to be concrete as soon as I can afford it. I got a basketball goal and stuff.
What?
Whenever.
Oh,
It's-
geez, dude.
Huh?
not the grass. You're talking the area
No,
like,
the bare.
Area in front of the house in the pool.
Well, to this side of the house that you're viewing.
to the left of all those trees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
that
To the
retail-
left of those trees,
Okay.
but to the right of the pool, that's all going to be
Yeah.
concrete. And
Oh,
I've
perfect.
already got the girls a real nice basketball goal and stuff. And then
what
really-
body part did you have to mortgage to get the loan on the concrete?
Yeah.
well, I hadn't got there yet.
He's still working up that body part. So
Olee,
Maybe
where's,
I need
where's,
maybe I need
do
me
it
a
out.
what's it called, an only fan or something.
There you go.
where's your goalie at? Do you have a goalie on your property?
A goalie for a
goalie.
goalie.
Yeah.
No goalie. I need a goalie though, because the oldest girl plays soccer. So that'd be great.
No. I didn't know AA Ron was in here with the goalie.
No goalie. Now we got a goalie washer. What day was that? We got 2.5 inches of rain.
Oh, yeah.
right now. So we got a goalie washer. And
Ryan, I think we'd take that 2.5 inches.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like that's what, 4 months worth of rain for us.
Most guys would.
Maybe if we're
That's
lucky.
crazy.
I got that, Nate.
So Olee, I was going to ask you that too when I saw all that rain coming in. Do you have a specific amount of rain you look to get each week? Because like for us that have sprinklers, I look to put 1 inch of rain down on a week. But if you got 2 inches, does that mean you don't need to worry about watering next week? You know what I mean? Or you're going to be dried up and needing more rain next week too. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess the way to look at that, and that's something that eventually I'm gonna have is a really nice moisture meter,
Yeah.
just to check stuff like that.
To keep track of
Go
the
ahead.
moisture.
That's why I slowed it down for you.
I'm a little slow. The
I
Tito's just
wanted to
kicking
make
in.
sure you all called it. That way you had a chance.
That's for your lawn, right?
Ah,
Huh? Not really for the lawn. It's more for the soil. But
Yeah.
as summer,
I don't think
as
we
it
picked up on
starts,
that.
the temperature comes up and we're above 70 at night.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a bad thing, I guess you'd say, far as disease and stuff.
yeah.
But I mean, if we could get an inch and a half every week, that would be phenomenal.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
If you like 1 year, that's what I was saying earlier. If you can get fescue to live through a season, one whole season, you're ahead of the game because it just gets stronger, it's mature, better roots, all that stuff. 1 year we had no rain. It was such a drought. I mean, it was impossible to water enough. So I lost turf because of that. Well, then the following year I had a major jump on the year, thought I had it figured out. We started getting rain and I was like real happy. We were getting rain. Well, then it wouldn't quit raining. So then I learned about Pythium root rot. Like it would never dry out. That it actually killed the seeded spots, the young stuff. It actually rotted the roots away. And I thought I had grubs because like Nate was talking about, you could go out there and pull it up like carpet. But it wasn't that. It just would not quit raining that year. So every year I've learned something different. Like, last year was army worms. Never seen an army worm in my life.
When did
Hey.
those come about? When was the army worm fiasco?
Oh yeah, what time of year?
October.
It was last
October.
fall.
No.
Early.
August.
Okay.
Mhm.
My yard had looked the best it ever looked in August. I was throwing the most water I'd ever thrown at it. In 30 days, I used over 200,000 gallons. And I was super tickled with the way it was looking. I actually thought I was not going to overseed for once. And we left for the beach. And when I got back, I knew something was wrong. So,
Yeah, my neighbor's got an armyworm infestation. I was able to stop it before it hit mine, but it just devastated their yard.
Wow.
well, they eat 40,000 square feet. They eat an acre.
Little bastards.
And it was sickening. Like I come home and I could tell, something wasn't right. So I started walking around in the yard and I had spots that were probably 6 or 8 feet in circles that looked like somebody had took a weed eater and just mowed it down. And I thought somebody was fudging with me. I was like, what is going on? And I kept looking and I could see where stuff was chewed up, but I never seen any bugs or anything there. And the next day, that was on a Sunday, and I went to work Monday. I come home Monday evening, and I knew I had a problem because that spot had grown, like doubled. And I never could see anything. I was out at midnight, looking with a flashlight and stuff. And finally, a good buddy of mine, his name's John. He runs Legacy Turf here in North Carolina. He said, man, get you a bucket of water, put some Dawn dish detergent in it, go out there and dump it down. And it was like a horror movie. They come flying at the ground, man. It was crazy. So, and by about 4 or 5 days, they had eat a good 20,000 square feet in 4 or 5 days. And I mean, to the ground. Mm-hmm. And so I sprayed and got those killed, just a contact spray, a contact kill. And I thought, all right, well, it's too hot to seed. We'll just, see what happens. And about 3 weeks later, it started disappearing again. I had a second hatching. So they had come back. And what I'd used was a contact kill, not a preventative or anything. So then I had to spray again. So this year I got something for preventative.
So that's what you're going to plan to do is make sure they never come back.
It's down.
So is that going to be a new yearly thing for you? I mean, you've never seen one until last year, but now it's on your radar and it's going to go down every year.
Yeah. And honestly, we'll probably, from talking to farmers and stuff in this area, they told me they hadn't seen any in like 9 years. It's not common. And the reason we got them is some storms south of North Carolina pushed them up this way. I don't know if it was a hurricane or what it was, but it pushed the moth up this way and then it laid eggs and that's what hatches is the armyworms.
So
and it blew them all the way up in Lake Ohio, I believe.
Does everybody do something like that? Like if you've had an issue in your lawn 1 year, it's like, okay, from here on out, I'm going to prevent it and not take a chance ever again.
It would be a whole lot easier than buying a buku of grass seed.
Sure. Yeah. But I'm thinking like grubs, you know what I mean? Like if you've never had grubs and then all of a sudden you had grubs in 1 year, would that just always be a thing for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It just automatically go into your plan for,
because you never want to have that happen again. They can devastate your yard so fast. And like Ole's experience, I bet he has nightmares about that happening again.
Right.
Well, I mean, it didn't. A lot of people are like, man, that really, but it taught me something. Like every year I've learned something. Yeah. I mean, it sucked. No doubt it sucked. But it showed me, other things to look for. Like I got a lot of hate. Oh, well, he's so good. Why didn't he have a preventative down? Well, I'd never seen an armyworm since I've been here. I've never seen
you've rather dealt with. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I learned the hard way every day. I'm not a professional. I learned the hard way. And the thing that did suck about it is though it killed it off in August. So then it was bare for the rest of August, and then September until I could get it seeded. So then I had a bunch of junk trying to grow because it was basically bare. Sunlight was hitting it. So then you got free weed to germinate. You got crap blowing around to germinate. So it caused more work because then you had to kill off the junk before you seeded. So I mean, it's a headache, but it taught me a lesson.
Yeah. So real quick, guys, we didn't really actually talk about this, but I'm a gluten for punishment. So I want to actually do a quick giveaway for all the people that are in the chat still hanging out with us tonight, we're just kind of talking about whatever now.
Yeah, we'll save
Sorry.
stripes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll do. No. This is awesome. Like I said, this is what it's all about, right? Like we're not scripted. We just go with the flow. I love it. But we're just going to give away something from Simple Lawn Solutions. Appreciate their affiliation. And I guess since I'm sporting all their stuff tonight, we're going to do a hose in sprayer of 15015.
Ooh.
Phosphorus free hose in sprayer. I think that would be good going into summertime and stuff like that. So for those that are still in the chat, if you guys will just simply type in Simple Lawn Solutions, I'll gather up your names real quick and we'll give away that 15015 hose in sprayer. So anyways,
Can
we can
we give away something else after that if everybody hangs out, or no?
Yeah, whatever you want to do, Olee. What do you want to give away?
I got something I'm gonna go get, and we're gonna give it away. I'll be right back.
Let's give away
if your name's in
grass
there,
paints and some whiny ass bitches.
Some big jugs.
Yeah, grass paints.
I do got something I want to pull up. Well, yeah, what do you get? So people got to type something in, or
who?
Or did you already say
We're doing it?
Yeah, they're doing
Doing it right
Simple
now?
Lawn Solutions.
Oh, Zach.
And then whatever Ole's planning to do, we'll just do that same. We'll just do that same drawing, same name, whatever. Wow,
Let's talk about lawn stripes for a little bit, you guys. I'm
Does the
excited.
guest get to enter in that or no?
into what?
Does
The
the
drawing? Do it.
Nate's wife?
Throw them in there, man. Highlander. Throw them in there.
Yeah, you can jump on there. We'll put you on there.
See a lot of people coming out.
Yeah.
My buddy Ryan K in the chat. I wanted to pull this up. He's been in here a couple weeks and he just got this bad boy. I think this is pretty sweet, and it comes in pieces. Like it came in pieces, and the manufacturer had to build it for him. And he
Is that a seed box?
Is that a split seater thing?
yeah, it's like a slit seeder.
Aerator.
Sweet.
Damn.
I think it's the same one or similar to Ole's. I just told him I was going to pull it up, and he said he sent it to Olee. So, but
Is he in the landscaping business? Is that what he's doing with it?
He manages a lot of parks and rec.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
but it's brand new machine, not used. He has to buy brand new equipment. That's kind of like part of it, I guess. So it's kind of cool. I wish I could have something like that. Like all those attachments and
Yeah. That'd be so fun just to mess with that and like, yeah. And then
Yeah, I mean,
get
you
out there
got-
and do something.
yeah, that would be
Know who that is?
yeah.
Lord have mercy. Ooh, that's 80 inches of badassness.
Yeah, you'd make good use of that.
I'd love to have that. Mine's only 60. Damn.
This is 80 inches.
I'm pretty sure he told me that was 80.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's always doing cool shit.
That's bad to the bone right there.
Hey, Olee, what's your favorite, like when you're out there mowing, what's your favorite pattern? What do you enjoy doing? Or like, which one do you think looks the most attractive for your yard?
Man, looking back at some old pictures, I think the double singles or single doubles, and then whenever they're crossed, to a diamond, looks pretty dang good. Like right now, I'm rolling the double doubles,
Yeah, I like that.
and it's a pain in the what. But I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to run it for a little bit. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Double
but,
doubles has got to be faster than single double single though, right? Because you never double cut anything.
Well, yeah, you do have to still double cut if you don't have. If you're on a narrow lot to where you can run down, come back, run down your double, come back, and just keep easing over, double doubles are cool. But if you get to a point that's humongous to where you can't keep going way over here to come back, sometimes you have to double cut to catch that next group. So some of it is double cut. Does that make sense to what I'm saying, Nate?
Yeah. I know once the pattern is established, you go
Yeah, now you can cheat once
first,
it's established. Yes.
first and then third, and then come back to the second and then the fourth.
Skip a section. Yeah.
Then you come back to the first, first, third, second, fourth, first. But yeah, when you don't have those stripes established, then it's then you have to essentially do up and back. So then you know where the next one starts.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But
anytime I do the double single or the double double, I feel like it beats up my grass with my mower.
it's a lot more wear and tear on it for sure.
Because I did it once last year. Wheel marks. Yeah. Driving that weight over it.
Yep.
I mean, you're just adding more compaction and more wear and tear.
But it looks sweet. It does look sweet.
But I like the circles too, and the circles are quick. I know when I first learned the circles years ago, everybody thought they were gay, and I like the circles. I caught so much hell. I like them. I like them. I mean, that's what everybody used to tell me.
Can't say that.
Can't say that. Sorry.
I like the zigzags, man. I think those are my favorite for your yard. I've never done them because I think they just look badass in a nice big yard. Those drone shots look good.
The thing about some of those is though, you get lost. Sometimes you gotta, especially if the sun's in your face.
Oh yeah.
You can't really see your stripes where if the sun wasn't in your face, and you just sometimes you get out there and you're like, dang, where in the devil I'm supposed to be at?
Well, especially if you're only cutting off a half an inch or something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's when it's tough. You gotta stare at it and you're trying to figure out. Then you think you're on it, and you get down and you turn around when the sun's at your back, and you're like, oh shit, I messed that up bad.
You get to see your.
I was supposed to be going the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, the zigzags are pretty dang cool. I seen a herringbone pattern the other day that I'd like to try, but you really beat the turf up with it. So basically,
those guys that do the real mowing, like lawn care, a coast. I don't know how to pronounce it, but dude over there in across the pond, he did those crazy patterns with his real mower. He had a whole chart out to know which way to go, and he said he still got mixed up. It's tough.
I want to do if my backyard is a big rectangle, I want to do I guess diagonal, or not diagonal. It'd be vertical, just straight back and forth, and then cut it off 3/4 the way out, and then do sides, almost like a baseball field, do diagonals out. So it would be 3 different patterns in one, but only
within one.
It wouldn't be double cut. It would just be, but I tried it once and it was a fail, but
it's hard.
You got to think.
All right, guys, I'm done here.
Ooh, yeah.
So let me get back to that screen. All right, there we go. I'm on my laptop, so I'm having to double click everything. All right, so we had 36 entries. Not too bad, not too bad. Appreciate you guys sticking around and entering in for this. So I'm going to shuffle 3 times. And we'll only spin the wheel once, so we won't get copyrighted or anything like that. Let me go full screen here. All right, here we go. So this is for Simple On Solutions 15015 hose and sprayer. Good luck. Hey, congratulations, Okie Lawn Guy. He's been sticking around for a while, finally wins something. So congrats on that. if you will send a message to the Keep Off the Grass Instagram page, we will get your name information and get it over to Simple Lawn Solutions so they can get it out to you. So congrats.
Nice.
All right. Well, you guys want to wrap this up? We got enough of the head talk tonight. I think that was good. I feel like I learned something.
It's about time to go to bed.
Some of us are going to try to prevent head this year, and some of us are going to
Try and get more.
I encourage.
try to get more of it. But
Not necessarily a bad thing.
we appreciate all you guys in the live chat joining in with us each week. We really do this for you guys. Appreciate you coming out and just having a chit chat with us about lawns. And we hope to see you guys again next week.
Go Hawks.